Today we are looking at the Bandit X-Trail Lite from Bandit. Really fun moped style bike. It's fun to bomb around on, hit some trails. You can just do a lot of things, a multi-purpose kind of bike. Got these big fat 20-inch by 4-inch tires, 180mm rotors of hydraulic disc brakes. We got a 48 tooth chain ring, going back to a 7-speed Tourney drivetrain in the rear. BMX style handlebars with a nice cushy seat, built-in back rack. Color display, all the stuff you'd expect on the handlebars. Integrated lights front and rear, front suspension with a lockout. Just a real fun, nimble bike to ride around on. Let's dive into it some more. So here on the Bandit X-Trail Lite. You know, a fun stance of a bike. You know, got this nice BMX type handlebar. We got these stitch grips, but they are locking. There's a locking key in the end of them. You know, a bell, you got the bell, control pad, easy to use, has a NFC card to unlock it. You can also bind it with your phone. Down the road, they're gonna have some additional functionality with the app, which is pretty cool. Shifter, just normal stuff. Generic hydraulic disc brakes, even though these the levers here say that they are not levers. You do feel that rear suspension working. It's pretty nice. It's just kind of a spring style, and you got the lockout there on front fork if you happen to need it. I don't know, it's a real fun little nimble bike with the 20-inch tires. You can just go do some little bit of trail stuff if you want. It books along. Unlike some of these bikes like this, it is really stable. I mean, I got a backpack on, but there's a little bit of rake to the fork, so it makes it real nice. It has just a real playful feel to it. Yeah, you do have the road noise. You're hearing that from both the hub motor that winds and the tires. So, you know, if you're somebody sensitive to noise, you probably might already know that. The electronics seem pretty dialed into, unlike some budget bikes, so it's not like herky-jerky. The seat's pretty cushy, so the comfort kind of starts to wear over like a long distance, but it's really not too bad. Most surprising thing to me with a bike this style is that the pedal position is actually pretty good. You can get a good, you can raise the seat height so you get a good leg extension. So it actually works well for pedaling. So you can see where you're in assist level 1 there. That's about 9 miles per hour for me. I've noticed the brakes make a little bit of noise. I think it's really the rotors. Got that suspension fork there in the front with a preload lockout, and then we have the dual springs in the back that kind of give it that moped look that are just a spring style suspension. 3. 4. So I'm starting to spin out with this bike in this range. Like I'm starting to run out of pedal ability. Now here in assist level 5, I'm now spinning out. Like I can't keep up with the bike at this point. And then we still have, wow, this thing is just ripping. So in assist level 5 and 6, you're starting to lose contact with the pedals, but this thing just wants to flip and go. All you gotta do is activate that cadence sensor, move your legs, and you're flying. I'm gonna hit this bump, see how it does. Woo. It's pretty cushy there. So the throttle is limited here at 20. I'm just gonna let this thing rip again. So at speed, you definitely hear that motor working and the tires humming. I'm gonna throw it over and talk about the performance test right now. Performance-wise, the Bandit X-Trail Lite did pretty well. From an acceleration standpoint, you can kind of feel, it just felt to me like it didn't quite have as much pop as some of the other 750 watt fat bikes I've reviewed, those on this graph you see here. And I kind of noticed at the end of the hill climb as well. Like for some reason at the end of the hill climb, I felt just there wasn't a lot of grunt there. Seems like it pulls a little better maybe. And that could be because the controller, the specifics on the motor, I don't know exactly. And range-wise, I had fantastic range. My recreational range, that's riding under 15, just kind of cruise along, projected out to 56.6 miles. That's pretty awesome. And I'm 175 pound, 79 kilogram rider. All these details will also be below in the description. And my minimum range that I've ridden on this particular bike was more of a commuting range, 15 to occasional bumping just over 20 miles per hour. And I still got 36.2 miles of projected range. So still really great from the range side of things. Braking wise, you see it kind of falls a little bit behind some of the other bikes I've reviewed, and I don't even know exactly why. The brakes feel good enough. There's a little bit of brake noise. I can't really put my finger on them, that's just what the numbers say. So some little trail riding like this stuff, it's pretty great. Pack trails, these fat tires, even a smaller diameter, you're going to be able to get through a lot of this kind of stuff. It makes these kind of trails a lot of fun. Plus I'm just getting a little more throttle here. The suspension, you can tell I'm booking pretty good. Just to soak up these little bumps. I can see up and make sure there's nobody up here. But you can see, nice and nimble. Nice little turning radius there. Fun to ride around. It's just has a fun personality of a bike. It just, you know, it just is one you want to grab and just cruise around. It's just a good cruise around bike. I think this would be an awesome camping bike. I'd put some sort of little frame thing on the back rack, and you know, you could really, I don't know, it could be just really fun in that way. All right, so what I want to show you is on so there's a little rail here on the back rack, but because of the shock, you can't really put a bag on there because the shock sticks out further than the bag. Though what you could do is you could use it to be where you hook some bungees or something. But the fenders on this bike are both steel, metal fenders. They don't really make any noise. The bike is a really quiet bike. You can see how I was talking about that fork rake. Yeah, so that really adds to the stability. Got the key down there, the lock. I can just show you real quick. Taking the battery out is very simple. Turn the key, pull the bottom, comes out, slide the top in, real nice positive click, goes in there. Controller sitting down there below it. Real fun little bike, just you know, fun to bomb around on. And Bandit's done a good job with their electronics. That's the one thing I'm really surprised at for a budget bike. This is selling for like $13.99 right now, normally $16.99. And there's gonna be a discount code. I'm not sure if that will be able to save you any more, but that'll be down in the description along with all the specs, summary of my performance, and all that stuff. The Bandit X-Trail Lite, fun bike, nimble bike, light handling. Did I say fun? It's really fun.